Welcome back, everybody, to the Baltimore Orioles franchise here on MLB The Show 21. Today, we have the All-Star break here in season number 5. This is going to be more of a chill, fun episode as we go through All-Star Week, including the Home Run Derby, which we have multiple participants in. We've got the actual All-Star game. We'll briefly touch on the minor league stuff. So, it's going to be a fun episode we have upcoming. With one game before the All-Star break, our Orioles are currently 57-31, which puts us 4.5 games ahead of Toronto in the AL East. With how the Blue Jays have played over the past month or so, I expect it to be like last year, where the race really came down to the wire. I think the American League is more top-heavy than the NL, with teams like the Angels and Astros really looking like contenders. The NL is a little bit more clustered. And I think in the American League, there are a few elite teams, which I think we are in that group, to hopefully make some noise in the second half of the year. So it's definitely been a strong start to the season for the Orioles. But today our focus is on the fun All-Star festivities. And I really was not expecting anything overly major to happen in this episode regarding the rest of the season, but the Toronto Blue Jays apparently have other plans. They have acquired Ramon Laureano from the Oakland Athletics in exchange for a number of prospects, most notably second baseman Vidal Brujan. So Toronto has now acquired Ramon Laureano and Max Kepler within the span of about a week, and they still have a Rosarena, Springer, and Teoscar Hernandez, which is nuts. So let's talk about the Futures game now, shall we? We're not really going to play the Futures game because we don't have many more top prospects to really go over. None of our guys are starting in the Futures game, but we do have two players on the roster, including first baseman Chad Spengenberger, who is 28 years old and has had an uneventful season. And then Gerald Fabregas. This one makes a little bit more sense. He's playing well. He's only 21, someone who could be a big piece of the future. And then here are the NL players for anyone interested. I've noticed a nice mix of subscriber-made international free agents in here, along with drafted players and other real-life top prospects who are still in the minor leagues. So the NL Futures ended up winning 1-0, so I see our team just could not hit it all. So now let's talk about the Home Run Derby, which is the big piece of today's episode because we've got our two sluggers, Louis St. John and Lenny Lane at the top. And I needed to figure out who am I going to use because I don't really want to use both of them. And it wasn't that hard of a decision. Louis St. John is our best player in my opinion. He is the AL MVP favorite, and he is the face of the organization. He was our very first draft pick back in Season 1, and I feel like it's most appropriate that we use him. Not to mention, if you remember last year, when the All-Star festivities were at Camden Yards, none of our players were in the Home Run Derby, but Lenny Lane, who was on the Cardinals at the time, was. So we ended up using him and won. So I figured it would be fun to use our guy, Louis St. John. Hopefully he faces off against Lenny Lane in the final round, because that would be a lot of fun. So here we go, the 2025 Home Run Derby here in Milwaukee. The Brewers are hosting the All-Star festivities this year. Milwaukee does not have anybody in the Home Run Derby because, well, they just don't have any elite power hitters on their roster. Of course, we have the top two seeds, Louis St. John and Lenny Lane, who each have 32 home runs apiece this year, which leads Major League Baseball. So with Louis St. John being the 1 seed, he will face off against Will Smith, the catcher for the Dodgers, the second best catcher in baseball because Adley Rutschman is better. So we're going to simulate his performance, and he hit 20 home runs in the first round. That is a really good mark by Will Smith, so it is going to be a challenge here for Louis St. John to beat that. So far St. John is getting off to a slow start. This looks like it'll be home run number 1. It goes 434 feet. You need 2 home runs of at least 440 to get the 30 seconds of bonus time, which, considering Will Smith's big home run mark, that extra time might be needed. So immediately I noticed that Louis St. John has a righty pitching. Like, why? Louis St. John is 99 power against lefties. Why would he have, there's 441 feet, why would he have a righty pitch for him? That doesn't really make sense. I noticed the pitcher has a really big beard, so instantly I thought it was Matthias Hundertwasser, but Hundertwasser has a really awkward pitching motion, and he's hurt right now, so it's obviously not him. So I don't know if this is just some other random guy. But why wouldn't Louis St. John get a lefty? That doesn't really make sense. He's currently on pace to pretty much tie the mark, not including bonus time, so that means Louis St. John is doing pretty well, but he is starting to run out of energy. Probably needs to call that second timeout soon, as that one goes 4:43. So officially, Louis St. John has won his extra bonus time. He just recently called his timeout as that one curved around the foul pole for a home run. With a minute and a half to go, including bonus time, Louis St. John is looking pretty good. That's home run number 17. That one looks like it's going to be 18. He's on fire. 2 away to tie. Make it 1 away. This one to officially tie. It's gone. And now for the win. A moonshot into left center field. And this round is over with a bomb of 379 feet. That doesn't feel like much of a bomb. Louis St. John and Will Smith shake hands. It looks like LSJ does some smack talking afterwards. So our guy is advancing to the second round of the Derby. Most of his home runs went into left field, which makes sense. He usually hits towards that side. So now we have to figure out who will he be facing against in the second round. So as we sim forward now, it will be Ian Happ of the Chicago Cubs who ends up beating Corey Seager. On the other side of the bracket, it's the 2 higher seeds, Yordan Alvarez and Lenny Lang. So the possibility of a Louis St. John, Lenny Lang final round is still alive. Ian Happ hits 20 home runs. So once again, 20 is the mark to beat for Louis St. John, who was successful in doing so in the first round. But he's going to have to do it again, and that's a lot easier said than done for Major League Baseball's home run leader through the first half of the season. That one in the straightaway center, nearly 420. So far, he does not have any above 440. This one looks like it could change that, and it does. 442 feet. So now St. John just needs one more for the bonus time, but he is on fire. That one goes 450. But I don't know if St. John is going to need bonus time, as I was trying to say earlier. He is cruising right now, doing even better than he did in the first round. If I am Ian Happ, I'm going to be terrified because Louis St. John looks like a man on a mission. That one, barely fair for home run number 11. I would say he's probably going to need to call his timeout soon, but with the way he's hitting, he might as well just stay in a groove and not call the timeout. Since Louis St. John's first round matchup was first, I think that gives him a little bit more of an advantage because he has more energy than some of the other guys who are going to be hitting later, like Yordan Alvarez and Lenny Lang. So that is certainly something to monitor, especially considering Lenny Lang is 39 years old. I don't know if he can withstand 3 home run derby rounds. Louis St. John at 21 should have no problem in doing so. This one will be number 18 of It's Gone, and it is. St. John looks like he might break the mark in regulation without bonus time once again, as that one's going to tie it. And then this one for the win. I don't think there's any doubt that this one's gone into straightaway center, 433. And Louis St. John defeats Ian Happ and will advance to the final round of the Home Run Derby. So now the question, will it be Yordan Alvarez or will it be Lenny Lang? I think we all know who we are hoping for, and unfortunately, Lenny Lang was just 2 home runs shy. So we do not have an all-Oriole final round, and we will have a new Home Run Derby champion because Lenny Lang won it last year. So Yordan Alvarez hits 21 in the finale. That is quite the mark for Louis St. John, who hit exactly 21 home runs in the first 2 rounds as he immediately starts with a 444-foot nuke. That's a good start. He's already halfway to his bonus time goal. St. John is looking good so far. All 4 of his swings have been home runs over 420 feet. Make it 5 in a row. Louis St. John cannot be stopped. That one barely still in the field of play. I also noticed that, unlike the real Home Run Derby, they don't have those kids who are catching balls in the outfield. I guess after Pete Alonso was dancing when one of those kids tore his knee up, that probably was not a good idea to have them out there. Louis St. John, 441. There's his second part to bonus time. But again, he might not even need it. 11 home runs through 2 minutes. He is on pace to beat Yordan Alvarez without the bonus time, as St. John's energy bar is starting to run a little bit low, but he is red hot. That one goes 440, and he calls his timeout. Going Oppo Popo. That one does not get out of the ballpark, but Louis St. John right now is on cruise control. That one scrapes over the fence for 16. This one looks like it'll be 17. No, just short. So he's still 5 away from tying. There's 17, 432 feet. There's 18. That one goes 434. If it's fair, this one is 19, 438. This one is 20. Now one away for the tie, and that one is crushed. And now for the win. Your 2025 Home Run Derby champion is Louis St. John of the Baltimore Orioles as he watches that one majestically go over the fence. And there you go, Louis St. John handing off the golden bat and celebrating because he is the Home Run Derby champion, shakes hands with Alvarez, and then starts dancing again. I love how Jose Altuve, who is Yordan Alvarez's teammate, was celebrating with Louis St. John. I think that's kind of funny. But there you go, St. John is holding up the trophy, hopefully the first of many Home Run Derby championships for Louis St. John, because I would suspect this probably will not be the last Home Run Derby that he participates in. Quite the showing for the young phenom who continues his unbelievable season. And now that the Home Run Derby has concluded, it is time to talk about the Midsummer Classic itself. We're going to take a look at the rosters first. Our Orioles lead all teams with 6 All-Stars this year, including 2 pitchers, both relievers, with Will Brooks making his first All-Star team, and then Edwin Diaz. I think they're both deserving, but I feel like Brusdar Graterol is our best reliever, so it's interesting that he doesn't get in, but those two do. Adley Rutschman is back for a 4th straight year. Lenny Ling as well will be starting at first base. Louis St. John will be starting in the outfield, joined by Nick Castellanos, who I'm a little bit surprised is a starter, although he still had a great season. So our 4 position players are all starters, and then we have the 2 relievers. In the National League, look at John Means killing it for the Washington Nationals this season. Why didn't he do that ever with us in this series? Other than that, nothing overly crazy to talk about. The National League teams, I also briefly want to run down the AAA and AA All-Stars as well. These are the AA guys. We have the knuckleballer Eloy Zambrano in as one of the starters. He's our only pitcher. Gunnar Bergeson is in, even though he's hitting 168. Dear God. Looks like all of his hits are home runs this year. Kobe Mayo makes it, very well deserved. He's probably going to have a promotion soon to AAA. And then outfielders Mohamed Maurer and Tim Cloud both get in as well. For AAA, former Oriole Felix Paulino is in there. Our only All-Star for AAA is Hideki Asuncion, who is well deserving, but the AAA team has the best record in the division. I'm surprised nobody else on our team ended up making it. Oh well, let's jump to the 2025 Major League All-Star Game here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We're going to do what we did last year for the All-Star Game and simcast the whole thing, but play whenever one of our players are pitching or hitting. So that way we don't have to play the full All-Star Game, but we still get to use our guys. As I said earlier, the Orioles lead baseball with 6 All-Stars, including 4 starters, which also leads Major League Baseball. Adley Rutschman is a starter for the 4th straight season, joined by Lenny Ling, Louis St. John, and Nick Castellanos, along with the 2 relievers, Will Brooks and Edwin Diaz. So let's get this one going. For the Nationals, Osada Koyoro is starting. The Nationals had 2 starting pitchers in the All-Star Game with him and John Means. So Koyoro gets through the first fairly easily. Chris Bubich is starting for the AL team. He gets through the first easily as well. So now we go to the second inning. Lenny Ling leads things off for the American League squad, and he starts it off with a weak grounder over to second, and the play will be made pretty easily for the first out of the inning. That was Kevin Newman of the Pirates who made the play, as it's now Nick Castellanos ripping this one into center field, and that's going to go for a base hit. So Castellanos is now aboard with 1 away, a big opportunity for the American League lineup to strike, and they do. A 2-run blast by Juan Soto of the Yankees. That'll make it a 2-0 game. Louis St. John is now up, his first time as an All-Star starter, 2nd All-Star appearance overall because he made one a couple years ago as a rookie as he flies out to right for the second out of the inning. And then that'll now bring up Adley Rutschman. It's fun having 4 starters in the game because it feels like the whole back end of the lineup is just our team. He would fly out to left field, so the 4 Orioles would go 1 for 4 in that inning with a run scored from Nick Castellanos off of the home run by Juan Soto as we go forward. Another pretty solid inning from Bubic. The only hit he allowed was by Milwaukee's own Trevor Story. So it's still a 2-0 game. Griffin Canning of the Angels checks in on the mound. He would do pretty well. Trevor Bauer is now in for the National League team as he faces off against Lenny Ling. Nobody out. Mike Trout is on first after a single. Is on the 3-1 pitch. Ling lines this one nicely into right field, but it will be caught for the first out of the inning. So that'll now bring up Nick Castellanos, who already has a base hit earlier in the game. Count is 1-2, and he swings at a pitch he probably should not have. The outside slider fooled him. Not the only thing Trevor, but I'm not going to make that joke. Okay, bottom 4. Marco Gonzalez is now in for the AL team. Starts off a little bit shaky, and now the bases are loaded, but the American League would get out of the jam. So John Means of the Nationals enters here in the 5th inning. Louis St. John leads off, which I think is pretty exciting because John Means not only is Louis St. John's former teammate, but he's also a lefty. And we know Louis St. John rakes against lefties. So the count is full. Pitch from the former Oriole to the current Oriole, and it is a walk. I know Louis St. John really wanted to swing there, but that pitch was outside for a ball. So now another one of John Means' former teammates. It's Adley Rutschman. He lines it into right field for a single, fielded cleanly by Bryce Harper. So both Orioles get aboard, and now it's time to see if the rest of the lineup can drive them in. We're going to start making some substitutions now, make sure everybody gets to play. Noel V. Marte is in for Bichette. In for Bregman, it'll be Vladdy Jr. He hits a single, scoring Louis St. John, so now it is 3-0. DJ LeMahieu then strikes out, and then in for Mike Trout, we will put in his teammate Jesse Winker, who is also out. And at the bottom of the 5th, Joey Murray is pitching. He would retire the side as we go into the 6th. Lenny Ling would have been up, but I decided to make the switch because, again, I think it's only fair everyone is involved. Milwaukee's Adrian Hauser is on the mound, one of the 2 hometown heroes, him and Trevor Story representing the Brewers. So with 2 away, there's a runner on first. There aren't any outfielders left, so it looks like Louis St. John is just going to stay in the rest of the game. Full count pitch. This one is blooped into right field, and it will go for a base hit. The runner, Eloy Jimenez, will advance to third. So that'll be a single for Louis St. John, who has reached base on each of his last 2 plate appearances. And with runners on the corners, we will see if Austin Allen can drive in the runs. He would not. So in the 6th inning, we are going to put in the lefty Brad Hand. This could go very poorly as he walks Trevor Story, who's reached base all 3 times today. But Hand would get out of the inning, so it remains 3-0. Diego Castillo is in here in the 7th inning with 2 away. Jesse Winker hits a 2-run bomb. It's now 5-0. And then Nate Lowe hits a home run, so now it is 6-0. And then Eloy Jimenez goes deep. Now it is 8-0. The American League team hits 3 home runs in that inning. Louis St. John gets that one past the second baseman for a single. And the AL squad is on fire right now. St. John has now reached base on each of his last 3 plate appearances. We'll see if Travis d'Arnaud, the final player on the American League bench, can score him. And unfortunately, he does not. So bottom 7, Aaron Civale is in. He allows a solo home run to Manny Machado. As it is now 8-1 in a little bit of a jam. He would get Tyler Callahan out. And then here in the bottom of the 8th inning, I wanted to get our 2 pitchers in the game. So Will Brooks, the 21-year-old lefty in his first All-Star game, is going to make an appearance as he forces Francisco Lindor to ground out to first. Nate Lowe will make the play for the out. Now Ronald Acuna, his first at-bat of the game, draws a walk on the outside slider, so Acuna is aboard. And now Brooks faces off against the meme lord himself, Alejandro Kirk, the big fella, who flies out into left field. Will Brooks' Oriole teammate, Louis St. John, is under it to make the grab for the second out of the inning. Brooks doing very well against some of Major League's best. Now he goes up against the Fresh Prince of L.A., Will Smith, who goes down looking on the slider. Nice inning for Will Brooks, only allowed 1 walk. And other than that, a pretty smooth inning in his first of hopefully many All-Star appearances. So into the 9th, Josh Hader is on the mound, getting some boos from the Milwaukee crowd now that he plays for the Nationals. 2 runners on here for Louis St. John, who gets to face off against another lefty. That's fun. On the 2-1 pitch, he grounds this one into right field for a single. So Louis St. John is 3 for 4 with a walk. He has reached base on 4 straight plate appearances, and all 3 of his hits have gone towards right field, which is kind of odd for him because he doesn't hit towards the opposite field. Darno would be out on the bases loaded opportunity, so now we go to the bottom of the 9th. Edwin Diaz will attempt to finish things off, although it's not a save opportunity. Again, we wanted him to pitch as Ian Happ will fly this one into center field. Should be caught by Jesse Winker, and it will. There weren't really any center fielders on the bench. Maybe we should have moved Louis St. John over because he does have probably better range than any of the other outfielders in the game for the AL team. Manny Machado goes down looking, and now the game is down to Colin Moran at the Nationals, who lines this one into left field for a base hit, so the NL team keeps it alive for a little bit longer. St. John overthrows the cutoff man. Diaz gets it, and he throws out the runner. That's one way to end the game. The American League wins it by the final score of 8-1. A very exciting All-Star game, a very exciting All-Star break with our Baltimore Orioles well represented. Edwin Diaz and Will Brooks both pitched strong innings. Adley Rutschman, Nick Castellanos, both with base hits. And Louis St. John reaches base 4 times in this game. Eloy Jimenez of the Mariners is the All-Star MVP. He hit a home run, so I get it. Louis St. John wasn't flashy in this game, but he did reach base 4 times. So I'm a little bit salty, I guess. Overall, a dominant win here for the American League, and I think the AL certainly showed that they are superior to the National League. We kind of figured that, considering, I would say, probably the 4 best teams in baseball right now with us, Toronto, the Angels, and the Astros are all in the American League, and we certainly proved it. So a good win for the AL team, and I think the biggest winner out of any player on any team during All-Star Week has to be Louis St. John, who won the Home Run Derby and played well in the All-Star game. So we will look at the results of the AAA All-Star games. We won the AA one and lost the AAA one. So our organizations go 2-1 on All-Star Weekend. I guess technically 3-1 since we won the Home Run Derby. I would like to count that. So that's going to conclude today's episode. Certainly a fun one. And now all hands are on deck for the second half of the season. We are going to go up to the trade deadline in the next episode, and then from there, we're going to try to figure out some moves to make this team better as we head back to the postseason, and hopefully our postseason run is a little bit longer than the last one. I hope everybody enjoyed the video. Make sure to like button. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new. Peace out.